off air, and we are live. Hi, everybody. Hey, welcome to the first live broadcast of Becoming You TV's on-air live broadcast series. And I'm so excited that you're here. I'm so excited that you accepted the invitation to come back to an aligned way of doing business and to invite you back into your business. I'm so happy you're here. And so this is my first live event. I'm very excited. I'm traditionally a teleclass kind of girl, so I have lots of notes. I will be looking at them. I'm not going to lie to you. I have a presentation for you. I have a little tree for us to look at. We're going to have a really great time. So let me introduce myself quickly. My name is JJ Carolyn, and I'm the Life Coaches Coach. I'm also the founder of the Coaches Playground. And in this video, I'm going to teach you the 5 pillars of an aligned business. And this is not a lecture, this is a workshop. So grab your pen, grab your pencils, papers, everything, and get ready to take what I like to call guided or intuitive notes. So you don't have to worry about taking notes on the content or the pillars or anything like that, because this is a live event that will be on my YouTube channel later. So you're free from straight A student note taking. What I would rather you do is just kind of tap into your highest, wisest inner coach, your inner wise self, whatever you'd like to call that part of you, and just write down the ahas, the little messages from the universe, write down whatever comes to you, inspirations, brainstorms, and that way you can really walk away from this time together with some brainstorms and plans and action items. So this is a workshop, not a lecture. So do feel free to write down all of these things that come to you so that you really feel like you got a transformational experience out of this. Now, in the interest of transparency, this is a webinar, live event, and there's lots of formulas that we presenters are supposed to follow so that you, the viewer and potential consumer, will really want to buy from me, and you'll learn to know, like, and trust me, and you will feel like I have a lot of street cred. So right now in the formula, what I'm supposed to do is tell you all about myself and why I'm the person to be bringing you this content so that you start to see me as an authority and an expert. So I'm going to be skipping that part, because if you need to know about me, you can find me on my website, and you're an intelligent people, you can look me up, jjcarolyn.com. JJ, just the initials, CAROLAN.com. And you can read all about me and my journey as a life coach on my website. I'm not going to tell you about it now. I wanted to rather get a lot out of our time here together. And so I'd rather we have plenty of luxurious time to actually workshop together instead of rushing through the end. So that's an example of how I do business my way. I am skipping the formula. I'm also not wearing makeup. And I'm wearing ripped jeans, and I didn't plan an outfit. So that's also my way of doing business. So let's jump right in. If you are are live on this broadcast right now, you can go to jjcarolyn.com/bonus, jjcarolyn.com/bonus, and I've created a handout, like a 3-page worksheet for you to go through later. You don't have to download it now, but it's something for you, so you actually have something to take away with you after this call. I will be pulling it down. This is only for live participants. So that worksheet is coming down about an hour after this call ends. So it's just for you guys who, were able to come live as a little incentive to be here. So let's jump into our content. What is an aligned business? For some reason, that word resonated with you. You're here. And one thing as coaches that we do is help our clients get clarity, right? So if they say something to us, we will often ask them, well, what exactly do you mean by that, so that I can understand what you mean? And so what is an aligned business? Let me give you some clarity on what I mean. I define an aligned business as one that is running completely in line with your life purpose, whether you are actually serving clients, writing copy, making a sale, stating your fees, whatever it is around business and coaching that you're doing, it's completely in line with your life purpose. So it means an aligned business to me means that all the elements of your business are fulfilling to you. They are engaging and stimulating to you, and they are something that you can look forward to. Even the parts that tonight you are procrastinating or putting on the back burner, or parts of your business that you don't like, that you're avoiding, sales calls. So in an aligned business, anything that's not, that you can't get in line, you will eventually farm out to somebody else. So it's part of getting clarity that something you really hate and you can't get it aligned with you. We're going to farm it out. So in an aligned business, everything you're doing is lined up with your life purpose. And when I say life purpose, I want to be clear that I'm not talking about what you do, saving whales or working on behalf of women and girls across the globe. I'm talking about how you be. And I'm talking about your life purpose as what it is you bring to all of these doings, right? Whether it's the little minutiae in your business, or whether it's parenting, whether it's how you be in your relationship. So that's a huge paradigm shift that I want to give you, that your life purpose has nothing to do with what you do. That's your mission, right? You can have a mission. Your mission is to save the whales, but like when all the whales are saved, does that mean you don't have a life purpose anymore? I don't believe so. I believe that your life purpose is everything that you're doing, so that it's the way you be. And we're going to get to the heart of that a little bit more in this hour. Obviously, we can't get to your whole life purpose in an hour. That would make me worth so much more money than I charge. But we are going to start uncovering that, how you want to be and how you want to bring it to what you do. So why would you bother with an aligned business? And you're here spending your time with me on this topic, and I'm so grateful for that, because there are a lot of other things out there asking for your time and attention and making promises, usually around clients and cash, or something else that starts with a C, because they all start with C. They're a great marketing phrase. But there's a lot of things out there that are telling you how to get clients tomorrow and how to make 10K in 3 months. And those are all important and cool, and you should watch them. And I'm happy you're here also, because to me, the foundation, building that aligned foundation where you're infusing your life purpose throughout everything you're doing, is the way to all that other stuff. It comes before all that other stuff. So an aligned business with a strong foundation can make 10K in 3 months. An aligned business can go out and get clients confidently. So I'm happy you're here learning about building that aligned foundation, even if I do have really frizzy hair today. So the reason that I think it's really important, and I won't go into it too much because you're here, you're watching, you obviously think it's important, but what I've seen when myself and when my clients start to build these aligned businesses is that, one, it actually allows you to fulfill your life purpose in everything you do, like we just talked about. Because when you start getting pulled into other people's business models and other people's way of doing, so I call that, when my mom called it getting pulled around by your ponytail. Like when you're in reaction mode in your business, it means that you're not lined up with what's important to you. And I have clients come to me all the time because they've spent tens of thousands of dollars on courses, coaching, and all of these kind of shiny objects that they chased because they didn't have it straight. They didn't have their core straight, what their values were. And so having an aligned business means that you can make powerful decisions like that. Also, it allows you, running a business that fulfills your life purpose allows you to prevent burnout, because you're not doing mundane tasks that have no meaning to you. If you're doing mundane tasks, they have meaning to you, and you've discovered ways to infuse meaning into them because they're in line with your values and how you want people to feel in your business. It also allows us to make empowered decisions in all aspects of our business. And we're going to talk about that at the end of workshop. We're going to talk about some of the decisions you make, big and small, on a day-to-day basis, and how you can bring alignment into those decisions, which makes you much more productive, much more powerful, and helps you spend a lot less time kind of in that zone of fuzzy, I don't know what focused steps to take. I don't know what I'm doing next in my business. So getting aligned will help with all of that. And it's also going to help you stop procrastinating the parts of business that you don't want to do, or that you're afraid of, or that you don't feel confident about. If the volume just got dramatically better, it's because I just realized my mic is now plugged in. So hopefully you can hear me better now. So an example for me is when I used to dread sending invoices, which is kind of critical. You really do have to send your invoices to get paid. So I would not get paid for like months, and my clients would email me and say, hey, you know, I haven't gotten an invoice for you. Can I please pay you? Which is like music to my ears. And so when I figured out how to align invoicing with my way of being, it actually became something that I really enjoy and relish and look forward to as a way to communicate with my clients. So that's like a little teaser of how something dreadful can be really fun. So we're going to start right there. We're going to start with diving right into these 5 pillars, and I've divided them into 2 categories. The first set of pillars is really around how you be. And the second 3 are the 3 big domains of your business into which you can infuse how you be. So I'm going to make an attempt to screen share with you guys. If not, if you can't see the screen share, I promise that you're not missing much. It's just a very, very simple, it's a very simple presentation. So actually, that's not even it. So we may not have this right now. Hold tight while I'm going to start your I'm going to start your presentation in just 1 second. Okay, thank you for waiting. So it looks like we're going to have a technical difficulty with the actual, oh no, here it is. We're good. Thank you, broadband. I live out in the boonies, so my bandwidth is not always awesome. But my beautiful illustration of a cherry blossom tree is awesome. No, I didn't do this. This is through Prezi. It's a great, really cool way to do stuff. So hopefully here it is and you can see it. So let's talk about step 1. And step 1, and this is where we're going to workshop together, is your values. And your values are the things upon which you would found an entire nation, right? So your values are usually nouns. And these are words that you want to do everything this way. Your parenting, your partnerships, your work, your the way you take out the trash, you know, everything you do in life, you want to infuse your values. And so the exercise I ask my one-on-one clients to do a lot of times is to imagine that you were stranded on a deserted island, right? And that you had to found a nation. Let's not say you have to repopulate it, because that's a horrible idea. But let's just say people are going to come to your deserted island and you're going to be the king or queen. What are the 5 values, the 5 things that you would write your Constitution on? Like the American Constitution is reportedly, you know, the highest value was freedom, right? So I'm going to give you, what I want you to literally do right now is take a few minutes, and I'm going to read you some values words to get your juices flowing. And I want you to just start writing down the ones that really, really sing to your heart and soul, not to your upbringing, not to your mom and dad, not to the way you think a coach should be, but words that, you know, may even surprise you and light you up. I'm going to read a few to you, and you just, you know, start writing these down, the ones that sing to you, or write down other ones that come to mind that are your top values. Because this is, if you hang up now and you get no other pillars, this is the most important one. This is the transformative piece. So here's just some words to get your juices flowing. Values: accomplishment, connection, fun, intimacy, commitment, beauty, joy, romance. I want to say that. I want to like roll my R. Romance, orderliness, self-expression, trust, walking the talk, vitality, sensuality, autonomy. Did I say that? Freedom, autonomy. I think they're different. Abundance, family, friendship, fulfillment, honesty, humor, openness, vanity. Believe it or not, I have a high value around vanity, even though I'm wearing no makeup today. So I want you to really take a few minutes to write down some of these words that are singing to your heart, or any others that come to mind right now. I'm going to give you about 60 seconds of quiet space to close your eyes and really think about this. If you're just logging on, we're just taking a few minutes, just a quiet minute to think about our values. So for me, I'm very clear that my top 3 values actually are freedom and fun and engagement or stimulation. I like to, in anything I do, I like to be very stimulated and engaged in what I'm doing. So you're starting to get an idea about your values, and as words pop up and as we continue to do this, just keep writing them down. But you're allowed 5. 5 values. So when I do this exercise with my clients, they usually come back with about 34. And if that's happening to you, if you're like everything is a value, then what's happening is that other people's values are dictating your feelings right now. So that's a part where it's good to work with a coach. If you had a coach training, just call one of your like co-trainers, classmates, and just see if they can help you get clear on your values that are truly yours and have nothing to do with your family of origin, with your upbringing, with maybe your career. It took me a really long time to shake the value of professionalism as I knew it from the world that I came from, for example. So let's move on to pillar number 2. Hello to everybody who's just joining us. Thank you for coming live. Welcome to the first Becoming UTV live broadcast. I'm JJ Carolyn. I'm so happy you're here. And for live viewers, you can hop on to jjcarolyn.com. It's JJ, just the initials, Carolyn, CAROLAN/bonus. And there's a worksheet there. You don't need to get it now, but it's just for the live viewers. It's coming down an hour after this presentation. So that way you have a tangible to take away with you. But for right now, just take intuitive guided notes. So here's our second pillar, and the second pillar is qualities. And how are qualities different from values? Well, values are about you, right? Values are about what you bring to everything you do, and they don't change across your settings. Values are how you parent. It's how you do everything, or how you ideally would be doing everything if you had a totally aligned life. I don't know if anyone's perfect, but the qualities can change across settings. So like the quality of your home, of how people feel in your home, the quality of how people feel in your business. A quality is about how people feel in your presence, or in the world of your business, or in the world of wherever you work during the day or night, however you work. It's how your people feel in the world of your family life. So this describes, in this case, how you want people to feel when they are in the world of your business. Now, these words might really be related to your values. So, for example, if you have a high value on kindness, the quality you might want your business to evoke is cared for. People who come through the proverbial door of your business might feel cared for. So I have a fun exercise that I took out of the vault. I only do this with my one-to-one clients, but it's a fun exercise. And I think it will really help you loosen the brain waves and think about the qualities of your business. So get your pen ready. I want you to think about stores that you've gone to off the top of your head, boom, 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 that you love to spend time in, like Anthropologie, Whole Foods, ShopRite. You know, if you have a high value on orderliness, grocery stores are probably one of your favorite places. So list really quick 3 stores that you cannot resist when you go past. And then think about the qualities of that store that really pull you in and keep you browsing. So for me, the quality of Anthropologie that I love is surprise and delight. It's like every time I turn around, there's like another like beautiful little thing to look at. Another quality that it is that I love about it, it's very delicate place. It's very feminine and delicate. So that just lines up with my aesthetic. I feel feminine and delicate when I'm in there. I feel like I love little teacups and things with lace on them or whatever. So, you know, thinking about the qualities of the stores that you love, are they neat and orderly? Are they loud and booming and exciting? Like Urban Outfitter has a vibe, you know, that's really fun to be in. When you're there, you actually feel really hip because you're just like there feeling hip and like feeling like you're sharing that quality with them, sharing that aesthetic. Do you really, like I said, do you love staples? I love staples. Like Office Depot, Office Max, neat lined shelves full of pencils. Okay. So now I want you to imagine that your business is a brick and mortar store, like one that you could actually walk through the door of. And I want you to imagine how you'd like people to feel when they enter your store. So think about, how would they be welcomed? What does the decor look like? How would they feel when they actually exchanged money for something that they buy at the store? How does the cashier treat them? What's the relationship with the cashier? Is it, you know, anonymous? Is it intrusive? Is it, you know, congenial? How do they feel when they make a purchase, when they're browsing around? I just want to give you about 60 seconds to really imagine this world of your business that's like a real store and how people feel about it. Are there curtains? Does it have damask wallpaper? Is it very, you know, modern with white, glossy white shelves? So just take about 60 seconds and I will actually stop talking. Okay, it feels like bad form to not talk for 60 seconds on a live broadcast. In college, I was a personnel director for our radio station, and we definitely 60 seconds of dead air was a bad thing. So you can hit pause on this later. I think you can actually hit pause on it now, and it will catch you up, which is kind of cool. So let's move on to the next pillar, and hopefully you can still see my screen, but we're going to move into the doing and how we infuse our being with our doing. And the doing is all the busyness of business, like the BUSY, busyness, all the stuff around it. And the 3 pillars here are marketing, service, and sales. These are the 3 things that you need to be in cycle of all of the time. And I have to really thank Dan Beldowitz, the social media like expert, amazing guy, for making this so clear to me that it's marketing, sales, and service are the 3 things that we're in the middle of doing at any one given point in time. So I want to actually work with you today to give your business a makeover in these 3 big areas. And the reason I call them pillars of alignment are because these are the 3 big areas that bring you into contact with your potential customers, with your customers. This is how people are brought into your world. And when you can infuse your values and your qualities through all of the aspects of this, 1, you have a much more aligned experience for yourself and for your people and potential people. I think everyone who walks in your door is your people, whether they buy from you or not. I mean, if you never come in contact with me again, you're still my people because you're here tonight and you're listening. And if you're listening in 2 years, I still consider you my people. And I want you to be having fun. I want you to be having a transformative experience. I want you to feel engaged and stimulated. So, you know, I want my values to be communicated to you that way. So let's look at marketing, because marketing includes everything you do to bring your potential clients into you. Social media, blogging, YouTube videos, Facebook ads, local newspaper ads, guest blogging, being interviewed, interviewing other people, talking to people about life coaching, networking meetings. I mean, anytime that you start to broach the topic of life coaching with somebody in some way, right, you are marketing. So you may have a strategy for this. You might be winging it. I mean, whatever it is, you might be. So often we are marketing without meaning to. And this is what I'm talking about. But let's bring this into alignment, right? So what do I mean by you might be marketing without meaning to? Well, here's what I mean. There are a lot of life coaches out there who are talking about things like empowerment and purpose and living your best life, and then who turn around and post really negative Facebook statuses all over the place. Oh, this vendor XYZ, and they're not always doing it on their business pages. They do it in groups that I'm part of. They'll do it on their personal page, but they're communicating a mixed message to those of us who are in the world of their business. And I might not be your client, but I might be someone who would refer a client to you. But when I see that you're talking about life purpose and passion and living every day to the fullest, and every time I turn around, you're bitching and moaning about something, I'm having a hard time seeing how that's in alignment. So one way to align, right, your mission and your purpose is to really look at how you're communicating in your marketing, whether you're doing it advertently or inadvertently. And I'm not saying everyone has to be perfect. I certainly am not saying life coaches have to be perfect or can never have a complaint. But what's happening chronically online with you? What's happening chronically in your real life with you? So I really do believe life coaches should be walking the talk and working towards, I'm not saying everyone has to be perfect, but working towards, bringing ourselves into alignment with the message that we're bringing to the world. So we can market by accident like this way. So look at your values and look at the way you want people to feel in your business, and think about your marketing strategies or non-strategies, right? Just think about how you're putting yourself out there on purpose or not on purpose. What are you using right now? Right? So the workshop part of this is really, let's look at how can you make over your marketing strategy to be more in line with your values. So do you want people to feel, let's say, for example, do you want people to feel really, really heard in your business, whether they're your client or not? What might be some ways that you can show up and listen? Can you ask questions on social media? When people start to talk about their problems in real life, can you drop down into a real listening stance? I never advise coaching without permission, but we can always give people the gift of being heard, right? So let's say you really want one of the values in your business to be fun. Can you throw a contest? Can you play a game in your business? Can you do some kind of Twitter scavenger hunt? I have no idea how to do that. I just made it up. But some of you who have a value on fun are going to figure out how to do that, and I hope you invite me. It's at JJ Carolan, Carolan. So one way of doing this is to look at your communication, right, in your marketing. How are you communicating with your people or potential people? That's all your marketing. Okay. So just think for a second. I hope you're writing down some notes, having a little business makeover as we're talking. Now the second part of this, right? Let's say your value is freedom, but you feel very nailed to social media. So part of it is about the qualities that you're inviting people to experience with you. And now how do we get this in line with your values? If you have a very high value on fun and you really hate some of the mundane tasks of your business and they're not fun for you, right? If there are marketing tasks that, writing newsletters, writing blogs, you find them totally tedious and you're not a writer and you're not having any fun and you'd much rather be out taking evocative pictures of landscapes to show your people, like, this is how your life could feel, then go do that. Skip the newsletter. I know, I said it. I said skip the newsletter. I'm not saying newsletters aren't valuable, but if you hate them and you're spending your time writing and you don't have a value on that, don't do it. I'm just inviting you not to do it. Like list building is a huge thing. And I've heard, in the same day, I heard two different things from two different hugely successful people. One was, this is a marketing thing, never sell anything to anybody until you have at least 500 people on your list. And in the same news feed was, did you know that you can book high-end clients without even having a list? So I don't know. I mean, both felt good to me and neither felt good to me. So this is where the shiny objects get put in front of us. How do you want to market? If you don't want to have a newsletter, just don't have one. I mean, really, I give you permission to let it go. I give you permission to let go of list building and concentrate on connecting with people in the real world, right? The internet is not the only way to do business. So I invite you to market in ways that are aligned with your values, and I invite you to make over your marketing so when people come in contact with the world of your business, they feel the way that you want them to feel, excited or fun or cared for, or like they've just eaten the best, sweetest Georgia peach that they could have ever gotten their hands on. I don't know. I am really hoping that this PowerPoint presentation is still up or Prezi because I'm making all kinds of wild gestures. Okay, so marketing. Service, right? This is the second, fourth pillar, but the second pillar that has to do with your doing, things that you do, the busyness of business. And service is like your time to shine. And I'm going to guess that when you are in service, whether you are like coaching one-to-one, if you're facilitating a group, giving a talk, a seminar, a workshop, if you're, if you've created digital products, if you have a passive revenue stream, like this is all service. You are serving, even if it's a passive revenue, like you created something that is supposed to transform people's lives, right? So I'm guessing this is when you are closest to your truth and your values in your business, is when you just are really right in front of that client, because you're a coach, right? So I know that when you're in front of that client, maybe you're nervous, maybe you have, a lot of my coaches, I work with brand new coaches who are like still in training or a hot second out. So I know you still feel like maybe not the most confident in the world, but I know that your energy is on that client, and I know that you are probably closest to how you want people to feel and how you want to be. So again, let's do a makeover really quick for services, right? Right now, what services do you have, first of all? Like, do you really know what services you're offering? Even generally, like, okay, I'm offering one-to-one hour sessions for $75. That's fine. Just know how you're serving. Are you doing like free stuff? Like this to me is service to me, although it has the secondary benefit of sometimes being part of marketing. To me, it's really, I'm doing this because I want coaches to start coaching and be happy in their businesses and stick with coaching so we can kind of as a group, really, that's like my mission, is get coaches out there so we can change the world. And if coaches' businesses keep failing, we're not going to do that. So what services are you offering right now that aren't in line with your values? This is the number one thing me and my clients and I, this is the number one thing my clients and I tend to butt up against the most, which is that they're offering their services in such a way that it butts up against their values, which fries them and causes burnout. So I had a client who came into me who was really bought into only doing like passive revenue streams, which is it's great. If your value is freedom, do those, right? But her value was service and connection. And she hated them and she couldn't get them out there, and she hated promoting them and she felt icky, but she was told by a business coach that's what she had to do if she ever wanted to make it as a coach. And she really wanted to do groups. So that's what we did. We flipped it all around and we moved her towards groups, and she felt excited and vibrant and happy. And, and also the people in the world of her business felt transformed. And one of her words was profound. She wanted them to feel profound when they left, like something had changed, that had happened to them that would never go back, like completely changed. Something profound. I'll think of that word. I'll get it to you. But anyway, so by facilitating groups, that's how she really, really, got in touch with that. So it was pretty awesome. So what services are you offering now that butt up against your values? And what ones are you offering now that you just feel like, boom, 110%, this is in line with how you want to be? So just take a second to write those down, and write down ones that you feel like would really line up, even if you think it's crazy. Like, If you have a big message and you want to get it out there and you're passionate, it doesn't matter if you're shy or you're not confident right now. If you imagine yourself like public speaking and that really lights you up, and you imagine yourself doing talks because your value, is to like a broadcast, right? Let's say to have a huge message. Write it down. I give you permission to write down everything you dream of that's really in line with you. And I retract permission for you to write down anything that anybody on the internet told you have to do, including me. Right? I've often told people they have to do groups. Feel free to disregard me. And then think about, so this is how to line up your business with your values, right? It's like, what are you offering? And then how do you want people to feel when they're in the world of your service, right? So a really beautiful example, if anyone has ever taken or purchased any of Rebecca Tracy's programs at the Uncaged Life, her programs are fun and exciting and succinct and straight to the point and no fluff. They're extremely high quality. They've been beta tested. I mean, when you get one of her programs, and I really, I love her programs. They're very, very in line with her values, and they're very, very in line with how she wants you to feel. I don't know how she wants you to feel, but I know how I feel and how other people feel when they leave her business, which is excited, full of potential, like they really could do this thing, and that they have the tools to make it possible. So she's a really good example about and even the graphics and the backwashes of her programs that you get, like I don't know what not backwash, come on, the background, like graphics are really exciting and like fun and stimulating. So if you're doing a passive revenue product and it's an ebook, right? How do you want people to feel when they read that ebook? Do you want them to feel like soft and feminine and connected with community? Well, how can you infuse that into your ebook with your fonts and your graphics and your languaging? If you want people to feel excited and stimulated and ready for action, what kind of graphics can you put in there? What kind of font? Can you use big, bold stuff? That kind of thing. If you're coaching one-to-one, how can you infuse your service? Let's say you want people to feel safe when they leave you. What can you offer in your one-to-one sessions a little bit more that would make people feel safe? Is there something you can put at the beginning or the end of your call to remind them how confidential it is, or to let them know that they're free to disclose anything with you? I mean, how can you help them feel more safe? If you want them to feel like ready for action, what do you need to build into your one-to-one calls to help them really like connect with those SMART goals, right? See where I'm going here? How do you want people to feel? What are the qualities you want them to experience when they walk into your store? And how can you line it up with your values? Cool? It's really weird to not be able to see or hear people. So I'm going to say you've got that. And let's look at the fifth one. So this is sales. Why did I make sales a pillar of business? Well, here's why. Sales, if you can wrestle this serpent of business and get to the other side of fear around selling, around stating your fees, around booking, discovery calls, which are supposed to end in a sale, invoicing. Other thing around sales are like your sales pages, answering people when they say, so how do I work with you? Or how do I refer a friend to you? Sending invoices, receiving payment. This is all sales. How does money get in and out of your business, right? How do you purchase things from other people? Gladly? Do you do it with a grudge? Do you not do it because you're afraid money will never, ever come back to you? So when you get to the other side of this money thing, I think I'm going to do a whole class on it. What you come to understand is that money is like everybody's biggest hang up, and it's your client's biggest hang up too. And when you can tackle it and make it be aligned with how you want them to feel and with your values, you show a tremendous amount of leadership and give people permission to take control of their own money situation, whatever it is, because they see it's not scary, dirty, weird, and that people can have confidence. So you lead your sales, by wrestling with this, you lead your sales and everything to do with money in your business. You become a leader. And it helps set an example for your clients as to how they can ask for what they deserve. and what they need. Now, I'm not saying everyone deserves to make $1 million because they're walking on the planet. I don't know, maybe they do. But I'm saying that as a coach, when you learn to state your fees with confidence, whatever your fee is, I don't care if you charge $5 a session, you need to state it with confidence, and you give permission to other people to do that. When you send your invoices on time, you give permission to your clients to do their things that get them what they need on time, right? So you see how sales allow you to show leadership and to set an example for your clients. So I give you the example of my invoices. So one of my really high values is connection. But more than connection, it's service. I have a very high value. I mean, my motto is serve like hell. That's it. So I have an extremely high value on service. And I've been told 1,000,000 times, stop giving away everything for free. And I'm like, this isn't free to me. Doing webinars, teleclasses, and everything like that I love to do it. I thrive on it. I enjoy it. It feeds me. It fulfills my life purpose of being of service. But I wasn't sending out my invoices at all. And as I mentioned to you, and I have a very high value on safety and trust, I guess is the word. And I want my clients to feel safe. I have a high value on trust. I want them to feel safe in my world. And that's one of the number one things people say about me. I always ask people, is there anything you need to know to trust me? And people almost always say no. For some reason, I already do. And a lot of that is in my unspoken messaging. It's in that I freely disclose about myself. So, I'm not hiding anything. And so invoices, right? How do you infuse safety in invoices? So what I started to do, because I want my clients to feel safe and I want them to feel cared for, I started looking at my invoices as a way to communicate those things to my clients. So by not having an invoice day, I was communicating to my clients that I didn't have a solid foundation to my business. Like, it's weird when you don't get an invoice and you're expecting one. Like, think about your bills. You're like, what's going on over there? It doesn't jive. It doesn't give a seamless presentation. But I started writing in all of the notes fields, and I started taking the opportunity to send the invoice with a really nice email. So I made my invoicing an opportunity for me to communicate with my clients and to make them feel really good and to remind them of how far we've come together, and to, even I started using better language around, instead of it saying like one-to-one basic coaching package, I started using better languaging to make them, feel like they were investing in something really awesome, not a one-to-one basic coaching package. So, okay, one of my invoices still says that. But anyway, you can see I started to really look forward to my invoicing as a period of time during which I could remind my clients that they're doing awesome. Right. And so that was like a way that I put my values and my qualities into my business. And now I really love invoicing. It's all automated now, but, that's how I kind of got over the invoicing hurdle. So think about that, discovery calls. Like, how many discovery calls are you seeking out? Like, a lot of us take them when they come our way. And by discovery call, I mean that call you have when you tell people about coaching, hear what's going on for them, and then make an offer to work with you. Are you avoiding that call altogether? Are you bailing on the end of the call? Are you not leading the sales conversation in like a powerful, friendly way that's aligned with you? So let's go back to this. Your values are what, right? What are your values? And how can you bring this more into line with your values? So for example, let me get my value sheet. Let's say you have a value on creativity. Ooh, this is fun. This will be hard. Let's say you have a really high value on creativity. How can you get creative about the sales call so that you are having more fun with it? So it's part of your self-expression instead of this money thing, right? If you have a really high value on flexibility, how can you make your sales pitch more flexible? How can you make it something that you can be present with in the moment? And infuse that. You don't necessarily have to say, well, there are 2 ways to work with me. I don't know. If that doesn't work for you, ditch it. In the Coaches Sanctuary, I had a great, one of the Coaches Sanctuary members, hi there, who I think is on tonight, had an amazing way that she does sales that's totally flexible and creative and has nothing to do with packages or programs. But if you like orderliness, you will feel better in sales if you have them packaged up. if orderliness is important to you, you will like saying, I work with people for 90 days for this fee, and this is what you get. And at the end, you can expect this transformation, right? If one of yours is connection, ditch the whole thing. And instead of sales, tell someone a story about what a client of yours has accomplished. You remind me of this client that I had, and she did X, Y, and Z thing. And if that's something you want to try to accomplish too, then it costs this much money for this amount of time. What are your thoughts, right? So you see where we're going. And then how do you want people to feel, right? How do you want them to feel when they go up to the cashier? So my mom gave a great example of this. We were working through this, and she said when she was much younger and in the time when there wasn't Whole Foods or all these health food stores, there was like one health food store, and like 5 people went, just this like early group of crunchy granola people would go to this health food store, and she would check out, and she felt that the cashiers were kindred spirits because they were like people who probably shared the mission of the store at that time. They knew a lot about the product. They were excited when they would say things like, oh man, I tried this granola last week. It was so great. You're going to love it. Things like that. So she left feeling great. I thought that was such an amazing analogy of the cashier, because the way that people experience your sales can make them feel that good, can really make them feel like they've connected and done something aligned for their life, right? Or it can make them feel itchy. So I have a lot of people coming to me lately saying, that there are coaches out there who are doing sales in a certain way, and they get off the phone and they feel horrible about themselves. And that's no good, unless that person's value is to make someone feel horrible about themselves. And it might be. I don't know why people do that. So anyway, so sales, right? So how is our makeover going? I hope it's going great. I hope you're getting an idea of how you can infuse your being into all of the doing. And I'm going to give you 2 of the biggest ways you can do that. How much time do we have? I'm going to give you 3 of the biggest ways you can do that, right? One is your communication. So we've got our 5 pillars, right? Let's go back a little bit. Your values, your qualities. Those are the way you be and what you do to make people feel a certain way in the world of your business. Then you've got the doing, marketing, service, and sales, right? So now I'm going to try to bring my face back. Hey, hi everybody, I'm back. So now, how can you do that, right? We were brainstorming, we're talking about some examples, but there are 3 big ways that you can really get your being into your doing. One, and the biggest one, is communication. So all of these things, marketing, sales, and service, involve like communicating with other people. Even if you have a passive income, passive revenue stream, you still have to communicate to people that it's out there, right? You still have to market it. You still have to make sure people are aware of it. You still need to bring them into the world of your business via your website, your sales page. So how do you communicate? Social media, how you talk about your business with your friends, how you talk about business building with your friends. So if you have a really high value around, connection, but every time someone's like, how's business? You're like, oh, it sucks. It's so hard. People are not going to connect with you on that level and want to refer people to you, right? So this includes autoresponders if you use them. It includes emails, newsletters if you use them. It includes, how do you shoot back emails to your clients? Do you take a second, or are you just shooting them back? I was guilty of that this weekend while I was preparing for this call. I ended up shooting emails back to one of my clients, and I shot her back 2 or 3 emails to like 2 or 3 of her emails. So I like totally was like, that's not very thoughtful, and it's not how I want people to feel in my business. Client contracts, welcome packets. Your client contracts can be full of your values. It can make people feel totally excited and jazzed up to work with you, or cared for, or safe. They're not just contracts. They're like an opportunity for you to communicate. So that's part of like service, right? Welcome packets. Do you have a welcome packet? Maybe, I have one that invites people into our first session together. So this also includes where your communication has a gap. So let's say when clients sign up to work with you, do they, hit the sale button, or you hang up the phone with them, they've booked their first session and they don't hear from you for like a week, right? So maybe one of the qualities you have is you want people to feel like they're playing hard to get. Like you want them to feel a little intimidated by you. And that's cool. Like that's fine too. That can really motivate people if that's a conscious choice. But if it's a neglectful choice, people will feel neglected. So when someone opts into your mailing list, right, they get their autoresponder, welcome so-and-so, but do they get like another one a couple days later that's like, hey, you know what, I really appreciate that you gave me your email address because here's some of the cool stuff we're going to do together, right? Or not. I mean, that's a choice, right? It's not good or bad. So how do you want to make over some of your communication strategies to be more in line with your values and the way that you want people to feel in your business? The second is decisions, right? One way to get your being into your marketing, sales, and service is through the decisions you make around all of those things. So list out like all of the decisions you make in a business week. This can include what courses that you take, how much time you spend on social media, what tasks you keep, what tasks you delegate, what your office hours are going to be, if you choose to work like overtime or during your family time. Like all of these decisions can be infused with your values, and they all impact how people feel in the world of your business. More along the first side, like how you make these decisions. If you're doing them from a really like strong value-based core, then you're not going to waste time and money on chasing shiny objects, because you're going to be like, you know what, my value is freedom, and this is teaching me how to stay tied to my computer, and I don't want to do that. I have a value on connection, and this is all about internet marketing, but I really want to coach one-to-one live, so I need to switch my marketing strategy over to getting in front of people live somehow, whether that's this kind of thing, we're live, whether it's going to networking meetings and step away from the internet marketing. So you can see how the decisions you make about marketing can be aligned with your values. I have a rule of thumb in my world, which is that if you want to coach on the phone, do teleclasses, right? Like if you want to coach on the phone, use the phone as a marketing tool. If you want to coach live, do live talks as your marketing tool. If you want to coach or you want to have like an internet-based business where you're, not really coaching one-to-one at all, then go with internet marketing. But sometimes we misalign how we market with how we want to serve. And it's like we can't get the people into our world because they're coming in the wrong door, basically. So that's a me to you rule of thumb. And then finally, the third part, I gave you this example of, but the parts of your business that you loathe, avoid, and procrastinate, right? How can you infuse them? How can you make them fun for you? Fun doesn't have to be your value, but by infusing your values into these loathful, procrastinated parts of your business, you make them more fun and inviting. And I gave you the example of the invoices. So thinking about that, first thing to ask yourself is, can someone else do this for me? Can you find a VA for like on elance.com who might be able to take off some, tasks off your belt, like organizing like your bookkeeping? If you hate doing your spreadsheet, farm it out, but get it done. And people will do that for, $10 to $15 an hour. So if you can't farm it out, or you're not at the point of your business where you feel comfortable bringing people into it, how can you make over those bits to either put the energy on your potential clients and think about how they might feel being invoiced, how you can make them feel the way you want them to through this loathful part, or how can you get it more in line with your values, right? So I feel like we've given you tons of examples about that. So, all right, we are almost at an hour, and I wanted to also in this give you an opportunity to learn about the Coach's Playground. And what I'm offering for you guys is, if you go to jjcarolyn.com/bonus, you can hook up with me for 15 minutes. You cannot hook up with me. You can call me. We will talk on the phone for 15 minutes. Love live broadcasting. There's only one guy who gets to hook up with me for 15 minutes. So you can give me a call for 15 minutes, and we'll have a fab fit call where you can tell me where you are in your business, and I can tell you if the Coach's Playground is a good place for you, because it's a 6-month mastermind. It is exclusively for new coaches, because there isn't an affordable mastermind out there for brand new coaches who don't have a ton of money to spend. And we will have a Fab Fit call if you're serious about thinking about enrolling. This is the work that we do. We base all of our client getting strategies, all of our cash building strategies, all of our confidence, all of this stuff is all rooted in your alignment. And I won't let you move forward until you are in alignment. Or you move forward and discover that you're not. So that's the basis of the Coaches Playground. It is an awesome place. It is an awesome community. It's full of me. I have a ton of involvement. We are on the phone 3 to 4 times a month at least. I'm in the Facebook group every day. So if you're interested in that and you need to know more from me, again, I want the people in the world of my business to feel totally safe, and I want them to make aligned decisions. So I don't want you to go to the Coaches Playground sales page and just buy it because you liked my webinar. I want you to get on the phone with me so I can let you know if it's a good way for you to spend your money. I am not going to insult you by giving you all the details on the phone. You can go to wherecoachesplay.com. It's wherecoachesplay.com. You can read all the awesome details. But if you are interested in that, I would recommend booking a FabFit call now, because I have 5 of them available and I have like a crazy busy week, and enrollment is closing on the 26th. So if you're thinking about it, definitely let's talk about it soon so you can make an empowered choice. So let's sum up. There's another break the rules, right? I want you to learn the rules. And in the Coaches Playground, I teach you all of the rules, how you're supposed to write copy, how you're supposed to build a website. We have guest experts to tell you about all that. But I want you to learn them so you can break them. I am breaking them right now because what I was supposed to do in the formula of the teleseminar was give you all the juicy details. I was supposed to spend a lot of your time learning about the Coaches Playground so you would not be able to resist going to the sales page. And then I was supposed to save something for the end of the call to keep you interested along the Coaches Playground sales spiel. I'm not doing that. This is a live broadcast that is going on my YouTube channel. You are intelligent people who can use the internet. So what I would like to do is to just wrap up by thanking you for being here, thanking you for taking your time to come back to yourself, to learn your values, and to learn the qualities that you want your business to evoke so that you can infuse them throughout all of the rest of the decisions that you make, all of the other shiny objects that you might click on or listen to. You can now ask yourself, like, is this aligned? Is this aligned? And if something feels icky, or you've done something in your business that feels horrible, for example, trying to launch the Coaches Playground over the holidays so you can make it in by the 1st of the year because that's what everyone said you should do, not aligned. Not aligned. I really, really am grateful that there's now another group of people who is learning the rules so they can break the rules and serve like hell their own way. So I want you to serve like hell your own way that feels so great to you, because that will feel so great to your clients. Thank you so much for being here at our first live broadcast of Becoming You TV. And I hope you join me for future episodes and that you had a transformative and profound and fun experience. I hope that you will bring your comments and ahas over to the Coaches Sanctuary. That's my free Facebook group for coaches only at facebook.com/groups/coach sanctuary. I would love for you to join the group and come over and tell me what your favorite part of this webinar was so I can eat cookies and feel great about myself. Have an awesome, awesome, awesome week. And thank you for being here.